Hey folks, you may remember last year when I showed you this. You know, this would be a whole lot easier if that thing stayed still. Obviously, we've made a few changes. Did it help? So, another year.
Yeah.
Another solar learning experience.
Yes,
adventure. So, we built a rack for the solar panels.
Yep. That was nice, not having to chase the sun.
Well, and I mean, we're on a different site from last
True,
year.
yes.
That the sun was in a pretty predictable spot to where, at least during the height of the season in July, we were getting 4 to 5 hours of decent sunlight.
Yep.
And that definitely helped.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there's something else that made an even bigger change.
Yeah?
You may recall last year where I showed you the battery setup we were using, and I said, I know it's wrong. I flat out admitted it was wrong. I'm surprised none of you commented on how wrong it was, but thank you for that, because I already told you I knew it was wrong. This year we upgraded our storage.
Yep.
We now are sporting two 235 amp hour 6-volt golf cart batteries, wired in parallel for 12 volts, 235 amp hour, which gives us a little over 100 amp hour of usable power before we have to charge. So I guess I'm going to, before I really lay out everything that we've done with the system, I'm going to ask you, as the user of the system, considering all the upgrades that I've made to it, that we've made to it this year, what's your opinion?
It's definitely better. It's not going, I think we're going to have enough power. It's more, I know we have enough. You know, are we going to have enough power to make it through the day and spend 3 hours debating before we decide to pull up the noisy generator?
The noisy generator. Which I will admit, this now that it's fall and the sun's lower in the sky, we are using more, but that's because the array can't keep up.
Right, and that was the same issue we had last year, too.
Yeah, we had that same problem in the fall.
It's just northern Wisconsin this time of year.
And unless we want to put the panels on a floating raft out there, it's a problem we're going to run into. There's nothing we can do about it. So, if I heard what you're saying that last year you always sat there and wondered, can I turn on a light? Do we have enough power to listen to the Brewer game?
Or radio or whatever, yeah.
Okay. Do we have enough power for the pump for me to take a shower?
Right, well, think of how many times I asked you where are we at for power.
You were, at daily.
What's our power like? And last year and this year, I think I've asked once or twice because I knew we were pushing it to begin with.
And to be fair, I don't think we ever really pushed it. I think the furthest we drew the bank down was maybe 25%. Yeah. I think we still had 20 to 25 usable left.
Well, think about that. That was also the beginning of the year, though, too.
Right, before we
were still in the mindset of, what are we going to do?
Well, so let's talk about the upgrades. I already mentioned the batteries.
Yep.
I brought the charge controller into the camper instead of sitting in a Rubbermaid tote outside. And, I mean, that doesn't improve functionality. It just made it a more permanent installation. It also, in some ways, makes it easier to hook things up because there's just one cable that I plug the panels into now and it goes. We added I'm going to call it my non-Victron battery monitor. It does a lot that the Victron monitor does, and I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. And I call it that because it does a lot of what the Victron battery monitor does without the cost of the Victron. The big thing it doesn't have is Bluetooth connectivity, so I can't hook my phone up to it, see power treads and all that. But what it does do is it measures, the gauge we used last year measured both directions, but the problem is after a couple days, it would have to be recalibrated because it used a Hall sensor instead of a shunt. This new one has a 250 amp hour shunt on it, so it can take some serious loads. but it measures both directions. And that's important because now I can charge the bank to full, reset the monitor to say that it's full, and I can nerd out on data and go, well, our voltage is this, and our amp draw is this, and this is how many amps we have remaining. And you can push a button and go, we're at 73%.
Yep.
Which is all you care to know.
Yep. I don't need all that other stuff.
No. The other thing I did is you may remember we had the extension cord from the inverter, because the inverter was outside, running through the basement of the camper and into the camper. I put a switch in and I brought the inverter into the basement, and I've still got to mount the outlet. For now it's just an extension cord coming from the inverter. But we now have the inverter so that we can flip the inverter on in the morning. We can watch the news, or at night if we want to watch a little TV because it's drizzly or whatever, we can. And I think that's made a big difference in how we've enjoyed things.
Yeah.
Because to be perfectly honest, we can hit this. We've discovered we can hit this system pretty hard and still have enough power for the entire 3 or 4 days, that sometimes even 5 that we're here.
Yeah, we haven't actually been gentle with power use this year.
Now, as fall is coming, we're not getting as much solar output, which means we may have to be a little more careful, or as you said, get the noisy thing out, which I did have to run the noisy thing quite a bit this week because the battery bank got drained because it was not a very sunny week.
No, it's been raining
this trailer still uses a lot of power on its own. And so, I mean, we were down 60 some amp hour by the time we got back. And that, with the charger that's in the trailer, that takes a while to put back. And I guess that's a future upgrade. It's replacing the built-in converter charger with something that's a little bit more suited to charging off of a generator.
Yeah. It gets the job done, but
it takes a while.
Yeah.
I think other upgrades that we've discussed for next year is we're going to get 1, maybe 2 more solar panels.
Yep.
And go up to 300 or 400 watts.
Yep.
The problem with that is now we're past the limits of our charge controller, but we've already talked about replacing the charge controller with a MPPT controller. And there's advantages to going to that controller too, because it means instead of running the low voltage that we're running right now to the camper, which means I either need really thick wires or deal with voltage drop, I could step the voltage up, keep the amps low, and the charge controller will do the rest. So we learned a lot from it this year, and
last year.
I mean, it's
made a lot of changes over the winter for this year.
Yep.
Based off of our use and everything we went through last year with our setup.
Mm-hmm.
And we have also created a whole list for this coming winter to take care of and get ready for next year.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the batteries now. And yes, I would love to go with lithium batteries, and I've seen people say that I should get with the times and buy a lithium battery because over the lifetime of the battery, it's going to work out to be cheaper. I get that. I agree. But I paid $250 for the set of golf cart batteries I have right now.
Yep.
Which is a quarter of what a good Battle-Born lithium would run.
Yep.
And I'm not against getting a Battle-Born. It's just not in the budget yet.
Not in this budget.
I would love to get
this fiscal budget.
I would love to get 2 of them. Have 200 amp hour of usable power out of batteries that can handle high current charging and discharging. I mean, I know the advantages. I just can't shell out the money right now. So for now, we're going to keep on with the tried and true lead acid.
Yep.
I'm very happy with those golf cart batteries.
I am too.
So I guess that's where we're going to leave it. We made a lot of changes to our system. We learned a lot of lessons.
And there's a lot coming too.
Yeah. So until next time, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Give us feedback.
Please give us feedback.
If you heard us say something that doesn't make sense, or you want pictures, you want follow-up to this video, tell us.
Yeah.
If you've got a suggestion, because this thing's heavy.
It is.
Maybe there's a better option. I just wanted to get them up off the ground.
Yes. I do like how it turned out. I like how they're there, but they're not in the way, and it looks better.
And I've had a lot of guests ask us about it out here at the
Yeah, we
campground.
did this here a lot.
Hey, what can you tell me about that solar setup you've got? I noticed you didn't run your generator all weekend. How did you do that?
Yeah, we've had a lot of that.
But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Give us feedback. What did you like? What do you dislike? What have you learned about solar that maybe we haven't discovered yet?
Yeah.
I know I'd like to play with some wind, but there's not enough.
There's nothing there today.
There's some moving water about 100 yards from us that there's no way we could get permission to do anything with, but I would love to.
Oh, that would be so fun.
That would be a blast. We'd never need the inverter or the generator.
No, that'd be fun.
Oh, here we go. Those of you that have a bigger inverter, and when I mean say bigger, I mean like 1,000 to 1,500 watts. We would love to be able to use that to make coffee in the morning instead of boiling water and using a percolator.
Which isn't bad.
It's not bad, but we would love to be able to do that. How big of a system do you have to support just making one pot of coffee? Literally, you make it and you turn it off.
Yeah.
I know calculations-wise, the battery bank can handle it. I know if I add 2 more panels, I should be able to handle it. But I'd like your feedback. Maybe I need to go to 500 watts in order to make coffee and know that I have enough. So that'd be something else you could tell us. Until then, until our next destination, take care, guys, and have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.